Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have the second in three, well, so far three, who knows what's around the corner, but the second in so far what is going to be three concealer and color correct videos. I have already filmed and released my Tarte color corrector, where we also talked about the new Tom Ford concealer. I will link that below. If you haven't seen it, check that out. That Tarte product is absolutely amazing. Today, poor little Olehenriksen color corrector is going to go up against it, along with the Valentino concealer. We're going to talk about all of it. Stay around because I will do another one of my makeup-free color correct displays that involves me having no ego, or a very bruised ego. Let's put it that way. All right, let's talk about it here. The Valentino 24-hour wear hydrating concealer comes in 20 shades and is $35. I picked up the shade LN4. It is linked below. This has a radiant finish, medium coverage. What's this medium? Medium coverage. It brightens and sculpts and covers imperfections. How is this medium coverage? And who's... Okay, well... So I always put concealers, as you guys know, if you've been with my channel for any time, on what I call a concealer spectrum. See, I have found in my years recommending these things, and remember, I've done this in print long before I ever did this on this side of the camera. And I always found that I had trouble recommending concealers to people unless I knew other concealers they liked. Because a concealer situation is really about the consistency of the product. So I made a little spectrum, and I had my lovely Giorgio Armani Power Fabric on one side. This is really light, really viscous, really that means liquidy, watery, easy to apply and move around. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I put things like the Pat McGrath concealer. This is the KVD Good Apple concealer, which is really thick. What could go on this thick side is like the original Tarte Shape Tape could go over here. And then we have some in the middle. The Anastasia is in the middle. We have Huda in the middle. The new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful concealer is somewhere in between the light and the middle. So then okay, so here's the light one, my lightest on my, Say could go over here. Clinique has a few that are light. Are you ready for where the Valentino goes? So this is towards thick, medium thick, okay? This is the thinnest. Here's the Valentino. Oh, it is off frame. It's not even in frame. That is how light it is. I do not see how this is medium coverage. And you'll love this, those of you who suffer from migraines and allergies. It's highly scented. It's highly scented and extraordinarily light coverage. Let me show you what I mean. There's that burst of fragrance. I don't like this product. Are you understanding that? Okay, so here it is on the back of my hand. You're not seeing it that well. Let me show you my other lightest choice here, which is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric. And I don't know how much this shows, but the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric is appearing like original Shape Tape compared. This Valentino is not, it is luminous, and it probably highlights and whatnot. It doesn't cover much. Stick around for the end though, because I do have a suggestion of where it could be useful. But let's talk about this lovely little guy from Olehenriksen. This is the Banana Bright Vitamin CC Eye Stick. It comes in 3 shades. I didn't know what to get. And I was talking with Julie H in comments. She didn't know which one to get. I went for the middle with the Apricot, but it comes in 3 shades. There's a lighter and then there's a darker, depending on your skin tone, depending on the do you have little blue to cover up? Do you have dark purple? I have dark pits of despair under my eyes. So I just went to the middle because I really didn't know what to do. This is supposed to be light reflecting. It is very, very, very moisturizing, and it rolls up kind of like a concealer. It looks like it has a little bit of a lip balm look to it, but it's just very brightening, goes under the eyes. It's a little bit stickier and a little bit thicker. It is not like the Tarte color corrector, which of course is on a doe foot and really kind of like a concealer creamy. This is much more, a stick application. And it is not a bad product at all. It's just really, really hard to take the stage after that Tarte color corrector yesterday, but I have more thoughts to put into that. Okay, what I want to do now, I can still smell that Valentino. What I want to do now is go to the demo where I will frighten you a little bit because I am going to come on with absolutely no makeup on. I think that's the best judge of whether or not a color corrector works. Unfortunately for me, unfortunately for you at home maybe. All right, stick around. Let's see what we got. Okay, once again, no ego. This is me in my totally natural state. You know, this is the second of these concealer corrector videos I'm filming. I have to tell you, the first one, and Tarte's going to be hard to beat, that color corrector was awfully good. Watch that video if you hadn't had a chance yet. I kind of like the whole concealer, color corrector, concealer, and then foundation. And that's never the order I've ever done it in, so I've discovered a little tricky trick. Okay, so we're doing it again because, you know, if I come on here with foundation already on as I normally would to put on concealer, some of it's already concealed. Okay, so let's try this Olehenriksen product first, okay? And remember, I got the middle shade, and I guess we'll just do this eye right here, just make sure. And we'll do it first so you know what we're working with. Again, I did this in my last video. Here is the darkness that we are seeking to cover up. And my question with these products is always, could I just do this? I need to do the eyelid itself, by the way. Could I just do this and no concealer? Usually no, because these are color correcting. So they're usually kind of green or even a darker orange, and you can't just leave that. My concern in the past, let's do a little bit more. My concern in the past has always been that even with concealer over it, you still look green or orange, and therefore not red. But okay, this is, you know, it's covering it a little bit, but this is nothing compared to the Tarte. I mean, unfortunately, Tarte is like, you know, Beyonce goes on as your opening act, and you just kind of come out and go, I got nothing. You know what I'm saying? That Tarte was so good. I'm just going to put a little more on, and we're gonna put it with the concealer, so we'll see what we think. Okay. All right, so here we go. Just the Olehenriksen color corrector. Hey, this is not a bad product, and it feels nice and soothing and moisturizing. So I'm not going to take it. This is the Olehenriksen. This is nothing. It's not a bad product. I'm not saying that. I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely better than it was if you're an Olehenriksen fan. Okay, let's put the Valentino over it. We're kind of just doing the eyes in this video, really. I can see if it, well, maybe we'll see if it covers some other stuff too. This is pretty, very light. Very, very light. Okay, let's take a fusion brush and let's just gently kind of put on the concealer, a very light shade. And let's see what we think of them combined. Now, the combinations that I am making in these videos of color corrector and concealer, just because they're new products, but you can combine any of your favorites, of course. All right, so here is my eye with Valentino, very Valentino, very, very gentle, light over the Olehenriksen, and the color of the Olehenriksen is now concealed. I don't know what it's done for my deep caverns of despair here on this side, totally uncovered. Certainly better. Let me just look at you straight on. Certainly better. Certainly better. I cannot condemn either of these products. This is, I think, the brightening we're seeing here is mostly the Olehenriksen, to be honest. This Valentino is so light, you know. Let's see. Let's do this side of my face, like my nose and stuff and such. And stuff. Just the Olehenriksen. Some of this redness. This is not really necessarily the right color to use. And as you see, it's so orange, it has to be covered. So let's put some Valentino. And what I'm going to do, this is so light, you guys. This is probably the lightest concealer I've ever tried, and the fragrance is bothering me. It's not bothering my skin, it's not itching, but it's bothering my nose. Okay, what do you think? So now we have a side of my face that is color corrected and concealed, and a side of my face with nothing. Now I'm going to go off and finish some makeup. I've already got a lot of thoughts to share. A lot of thoughts to share. So before I go away and come back, this is the whole face, no foundation, no makeup. This is the whole face color corrected with the Olehenriksen and concealer. You can tell what I'm going to say already, by Valentino. So this is our end result when I put my makeup on for the day today. And any coverage that I have of any blemishes, hyperpigmentation, a little bit darkness around the eye, anything like that is thanks to the Olehenriksen, which is actually a nice little product. Look, it's, like I said, the Tarte color corrector that I reviewed before is kind of like going on stage after Beyonce. So this Olehenriksen isn't really getting a chance because I think that Tarte stuff is so good. But I had a comment, remind me who you were, who said it. I'm so sorry that I can't bring it to mind. But it was Midlife Mom, wasn't it? It was such a brilliant comment. And she said that basically she feels that some of those really creamy concealers are only good for under the eye. And she likes the drier ones for the face because she feels they're not really moved by foundation and such and whatever it is concealer that you put over the top. I thought that was a really good point. So keeping that comment in mind, and you guys are so bright. I love reading the comments. You guys are so intelligent and thoughtful. I think that's really true. So I do like the creamier for under the eyes, but maybe this Olehenriksen would be great for any sort of hyperpigmentation or blemishes, you know, just the normal redness that you get. And there are 3 shade choices. So I think this is a good little product. It's just not for me comparing to Tarte. Go back and watch the Tarte video if you haven't, not that I'm trying to do self-promotion, but the difference between the dark caverns on my eyes, treated and not treated, is insane. So that's a hard act to follow, but I do think the Olehenriksen product is a good one. The Valentino product, on the other hand, is a concealer in the same way that me just scratching my nose there was an aerobic workout. In other words, it's not. This is a concealer. I don't know what this conceals. It's highly scented, which drives me crazy because I have to put a lot of concealer around my nose. So though it dissipates, it doesn't dissipate quickly enough to make me want to get it off where I'm putting it. I don't like putting scented things around my eyes. It is, on my concealer spectrum, as I told you, I've always thought that the Giorgio Armani or Say or some of those, some of the Clinique even are very light. This makes this look like full coverage. I don't know who this is concealing for. Now, I'll tell you this. I will say this. If you have this and you like it, I mean, I think it would be nice if you're doing a lot of color correcting, a lot, and it's really building up. Like, let's say you are using that phenomenal Tarte color corrector and you really want something very light over the top of the color corrector. Like the color corrector is really doing the work, but you just need a little something to hide the fact that it gets a bit orange or green or whatever. Then maybe this would work if it would conceal the green. I don't know the point of this product. It says Valentino on it, so maybe if you wore it on a necklace around your neck, you would have a designer product. I don't know. My grandmother used to have this really funny saying, when you would wear something that she thought was kind of ugly or not flattering, but it was designer, she would say, in her little accent, she was an immigrant, she would say, are you going to flip it around so that you're wearing the label on the outside so people can see that? This was before, long before, you know, people were wearing huge Gucci symbols everywhere and stuff. My grandmother thought of it first. But yeah, this would be valuable to wear on a chain so everyone can see that you bought a Valentino product. But other than that, it don't conceal nothing. And I don't like it. Save your money. But we do have another one of these comparisons coming up because Givenchy has just released in a wider release their concealer and color corrector. So that's next on our list. Right now, Olehenriksen, a really nice little product. This is terrible. You can argue with me in comments. I'll listen. We're a community. In fact, go ahead and do that if you want to color correct my color correcting comments. That's fine with me. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, make sure that you become a subscriber to this channel so we can continue to grow. While you're at it, come and say a big hello on Instagram and TikTok too. And don't forget that you can support the goings on here by becoming a member or giving super thanks, as so many of you have done. But in any way that you were involved, I'm just happy to see you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.